Thank you, my dear. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. What a wonderful evening it's been at the theatre this evening. Thank you. Please, everyone, give a round of applause to our serving wench. She is working hard for you. Please tip her well so that she does not have to steep into the depths of prostitution. Wonderful. Now, please, lords and ladies, make some noise for merriment this evening. My name is Fredric Shortfellow. Well, let me begin by saying, where are my ale drinkers at? Huh? Where are my ale drinkers? Now, there they are. Oh, how I do love partaking in ale myself. I'm quite the ale drinker. I must admit something to you good folks and fellows there, but when I partake in the ale, I make terrible decisions. Terrible as the weather on a winter's day. Terrible. The last time I partook in ale, I met a wonderful maiden with eyes as big and blue as the spring sky. The only thing bigger than her blue eyes, though, was her Adam's apple. Right? Her Adam's apple. You can imagine my surprise when I laid down with the maiden and the rose had a stem, right? A stem? Are you kidding me? Oh, maidens. Maidens can be quite insane, can they not? Maidens, am I right? Do we have any gentlemen that are betrothed to maidens this evening? Make some noise if you are betrothed to a maiden, right? I was betrothed to a maiden. Recently, I asked the Lord to bring me the fairest maiden in the land, and what he brought me was a whore. A dirty whore that was as dirty as the Black Plague itself. A dirty, dirty whore. We were together for many seasons, whence I came home and saw her lying with a knight from the king's castle. I asked her, why did she lay with the knight? And she told me that whilst she was doing battle in the bedroom, she would much rather prefer to be stabbed by a knight's sword instead of poked by a jester's dagger. Ooh, burned. Whilst I did leave with some dignity by telling the wench that even the most impressive dagger looks uninspiring whilst being dropped into a well. A well. Am I right? I left that maiden. I've got a new maiden now. Thank you, a new maiden. We're quite happy, although it is the 4th week in the month, which means that my maiden's fertile valley has been besieged by the Crimson Scourge. Am I right? The Crimson Scourge. Oh. And the Crimson Scourge is here. They can be quite the wench. Am I right? She walks about the house. Come thou pick up after thyself. Do thou have to leave thy shoes in the middle of the room? Dost thou have to be such a nagging shrew? Am I right? A nagging shrew? And let me inquire as to something about the Crimson Scourge. Whilst I go into the forest and hunt wild boar, when I pierce the wild boar with my spear, he bleeds for mere moments before he is off into the afterlife. Why does my maiden bleed for 7 days during the scourge and not die? Am I right? Am I the only one that's looking into this? Really? Pardon me, maidens and fellows. Some of my material is as new as the spring bloom, so if you don't mind, I must check my notes. Maiden, a whore, the Crimson Scourge. Oh, Moors! Moors! That is what I wanted to talk about, the Moors. Has anyone noticed that Englishmen and Moors are quite different? Quite different indeed. Englishmen and Moors do things quite differently. If they are given the same job, they do them in quite opposite ways. Take the job of town crier, for instance. When an Englishman is given the job of town crier, he does something like, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king has an announcement that he must make to the people." When Moors at the town crier, they're like, "Hey, motherfucker! Listen up! The king has some shit that he needs to say, motherfucker!